We are back with another installment of Midweek Music Maelstrom. Thank you for everyone who's been following the Crypnotic page and helping me crank out all these interviews. This is where you need to be finding all the newest artists that are local to you. Sometimes we can't always travel and catch the show that we want. That's fine. There are plenty of bands with plenty of music coming out, and we're here to help you find them. So today we are interviewing with Protokoll 9. I love their music personally, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. So we've got Jayson and Travis. How are you doing, guys?
Pretty good. Thank you for having us here.
Doing all right.
So do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so I'm Jayson. I'm the vocalist for the band.
And I'm Travis. I'm the composer and live keyboardist for Protokoll 19.
Oh, wow. So I got to say, I listened to your stuff when we were first talking about doing this interview, and I got some pretty heavy Cyclone 9 vibes. Is that an influence?
I mean, I would say that it's somewhat of an influence, yeah. Basically, any agrotech band that you can really think of has probably had some sort of influence on us in what we're doing for our music.
When I think agrotech, I typically think Comba Christ.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
how would you describe your music and the sound that you're going for?
I mean, I would kind of leave that in the hands of Travis. Travis is the main composer for the band, so I just kind of do my vocal thing, to be honest.
I don't really try to, sound alike with another artist or anything like that. I would like to have, my own sound, of course. But I do have a heavy influence with Hasiko and Suicide Commando, for sure. That's been the biggest influences with my music and everything, for sure. And what actually got me involved into this scene.
Wow. So hear me out. This is music that I could do chores to. And that is not in a bad way. That means that it's what would take a normal day and kick it up a notch for me. Because we're not always in a club listening to, agrotech and all that. This is the kind of thing that I would love to just have on the daily to make me feel like a fucking badass. So have you guys done any shows?
No, at this point, we have not done any shows. I feel like we're still in the very early stages of our careers for this project. At this point, we have, I believe it's 4, working on 5 songs to be completed. We have a 3-song EP that we recently put out. We put out a single a few weeks ago, and then we released a lyric video this past week for it. And then there's another single that we'll be planning on releasing in the upcoming month or so.
Okay, so where can people find you if they want to give Protokoll 19 a listen?
You can find us on Spotify for streaming. We have all our music available on our Bandcamp to be able to purchase. Then we're on Facebook with the lyric video. We have presence on YouTube now. So, I mean, there's a few different outlets for you to be able to see us at this point.
Okay, is there any merch?
We have stickers at this point. Again, we're still in the kind of early phases of everything, trying to get everything kind of going. So that is a work in progress.
So what projects have you done prior to Protokoll 19?
So we're both in Misfit Toys currently. I play keyboards for the band.
Oh, wow. What do you do, Travis?
I'm also in Misfit Toys, and I'm the drummer.
Wow, so you guys you do it all.
Yep.
We try.
We absolutely definitely try. I mean, music is definitely a passion. Every chance that there is to have like an outlet or anything like that with the musical creativity, definitely like to jump on that.
So Jayson, with your vocal style, were there any like heavy influences in what you do now from other artists?
I mean, I would definitely say that like with my vocals, I've taken influence from a lot of agrotech bands for sure. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but then there definitely are like a lot of metal bands out there that while I may not necessarily be doing exactly what they're doing, a lot of like where I've kind of come to be for my vocal style has at least drawn some sort of influence from a lot of.
Like what metal bands?
I mean, definitely Cradle of Filth, a lot of like black metal bands, but then a lot of stuff kind of like I would say like Ocean's 8 Alaska, some of like kind of the post-hardcore scene type stuff.
You're naming off a bunch of my favorite music.
Yeah.
And Travis, what kind of influences have you had?
So like I mentioned before, Suicide Commando and Hasiko have been a big influence. But I also, before discovering agrotech style music, it was Crossbreed, Slipknot, Korn. But that's more like when I was playing guitar back in those days.
Oh, so you play guitar too. You compose, you do drums, guitar, keyboard. What don't you do?
Trumpet.
Okay, well, when you learn trumpet, give me a call because I can really throw down on kazoo.
Well, if we're gonna throw in some ska in there and stuff, you know.
All right. Jayson, can you play xylophone?
Give me a week or so. I'm sure I could figure out how to do it
All
properly.
right, then we've got a new 3-piece going on.
Yeah.
I don't
Another
know what
project.
to call it, but it
Oh,
would
man.
sell out. Oh my God. So, do you guys have any experience performing, even though you haven't done any shows with Protocol 19?
Yeah. Definitely a lot of experience being in Misfit Toys. We have played quite a few shows over the years. There's been other projects that I've done like throughout the course of my lifetime, but I feel like Misfit Toys is definitely like the most notable thing to be able to have the opportunity to go out and do shows.
Travis?
Yes, I have to agree with him with that one. And actually, to bring it up, since you had mentioned Cyclone 9, that was actually a band that we went on tour with last year.
Really?
Hmm.
Wow. It really is a small world.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people don't realize just how small, like, the music scene is, like, everyone knowing everybody.
Especially when it comes to industrial. Once you kind of find yourself that you're kind of in that and doing shows and stuff, you start to realize like you meet somebody and then they know somebody in another band and it all just kind of comes full circle and it is really kind of a close-knit group of people.
All right, so the signature question that I always ask, what is the weirdest and or coolest thing that has happened to you during a show that you were performing? Oh, Travis, I see your expression kind of. Come on,
Well, the craziest thing that probably has happened to me is that I accidentally stabbed myself in the leg before going on stage.
This was only a couple months ago too.
What? What did you stab yourself with?
It was a knife that I had hanging on my tour pack. So I have a certain backpack that I carry with me when I go to these shows and everything that are out of town, especially that carry all my stage outfits, my makeup, and all that stuff. Well, I have a knife that hangs on the edge of it clips onto the side of the backpack, but it doesn't have a lock on it. And in the back of the van, there's no real lighting. So when I was going in there to get prepared and look for my stage makeup, I crouched down, the knife was split open, went right up my leg.
How deep?
Pretty deep. I don't know if I could really get the scar on here, but let's try.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it, but right there.
Oh my God.
But it went pretty deep, probably, I want to say close to an inch deep, maybe more. I'm not sure. I just, I didn't even really realize that it had happened. I felt like water was going down my leg into my boot. And I was kind of confused, and I looked down and I noticed that I had a bunch of red on my hand when I, looked after touching my leg. And yeah.
And that was when you realized you'd had your first period.
I guess so.
Jayson.
Bleeding out the wrong spot, but yeah.
Jayson, what has been your weirdest and or coolest experience when you've been performing?
I've had a lot of bonehead moments throughout the years, to be quite honest, going on stage. I will never forget the very first Misfit Toys show, actually. So we're in the middle of performing a song, and the way that we run our sound, we have everything mixed to our own mixer on stage. And I accidentally stepped on our DI box and unplugged our entire sound system and just cut all of our music in the middle of it.
I mean, it's funny, but it's not. So how'd you How'd you fix that little whoopsie?
I immediately knew what I did, and I just kind of leaned over and plugged it back in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that worked out. So do you have any music that you listen to that is just completely not even close to the type of music that you make?
Yes, a lot of it actually.
Okay, what do you have for me? What would I find on your playlists?
Katy Perry.
No shame there.
Yeah, no shame at all. Might find a little bit of Taylor Swift. I am into a little bit of that.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
I do
so
try to.
pop stuff,
I try
or
to
like
find
go back to when she
influence.
was a country artist?
Might have to repeat that one more time.
Yeah, I did not hear that.
Yeah. Do you listen to her pop stuff, or are you like going way back to when she was a
No.
country artist?
No, more of the pop stuff, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of my thing, is being into industrial and a lot of electronic music. Pop music definitely has a lot of stuff that I can find influence from.
Travis?
I would say Lady Gaga.
I mean, she's good, and she has a heck
find-
of a stage presence.
I do have some of her songs that I find kind of catchy and stuff, so I do catch myself jamming out to it.
My God. So you guys have just done a lot. You've been through a lot on stage. My God. So, if someone wants to find you on social media, what platforms are you on currently?
Facebook, that would definitely be probably the best outlet to be able to get a hold of us.
Agreed.
So what projects do you have coming up that viewers should know about?
Well, we do have that music video that's hopefully going to be released next month, maybe by January.
Okay. So is there new music expected to be coming out?
That is going to be a brand new song that we have not released. Definitely what I would consider to be probably our most intense and catchy song that we've worked on so far. So that's why we're putting so much effort into it as far as doing a music video and giving it the time and the attention that it really needs.
Oh, wow. I'm excited. I cannot wait to share that on the Crypnotic page. You guys really do a lot. So how is the cohesiveness with your group? How many members are there?
There's currently 3.
Okay.
For Protocol 19.
So how do you go about determining finding quality members and making that work? Because in a lot of ways, a band is sort of similar to a marriage.
Oh, it definitely is a lot like a marriage.
Well, it's definitely helpful that all of us are in Tampa. And one of them I actually is a roommate with, so.
Okay. Yeah, one of the guys that I just did his interview, he's the only one in Florida and everyone else is in New York.
I imagine that's got to be kind of tough.
Yeah, that's got to be really tough.
Yeah, but that's why Skype is bringing us all together like tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else that you want your audiences to know or to expect or to stay tuned for?
I mean, really, I would say the big focal point right now is just the music video that we're working on for the new single, and to expect to see it either sometime next month or in the beginning of January.
All right.
Yeah, and like it's been mentioned, this project is pretty much brand new. We just started releasing stuff in October. And this
so you're
project,
like brand spanking new, a few months old.
Exactly. Like we've been working on the music for probably about a year, maybe a year and a half at this point, kind of figuring out where we wanted to go with it and fine tuning things to the point where it's at right now. But as far as like being public with it and having any type of presence, it is literally in its infancy right now.
Well, I'm definitely going to do what I can to make sure that people find out that Protocol 19 is making some moves.
Appreciate that.
Oh, of course. That's what we're here for. I'd be glad to interview you guys again when the new stuff comes out. Since you are a newer band, you've got single coming out, you've got a few songs on Spotify that I have thoroughly enjoyed. In the future, are you just kind of taking it stride by stride, single by single, or do you think you guys are planning maybe putting together like an EP or a full length?
I would say the plan is to eventually release a full length. However, these days, especially talking to a lot of our other friends that we have in the music scene, it's becoming a lot more commonplace to just release singles, just because it allows you to really push one song. And what I would say is we'll probably continue to put out a few more singles and then eventually have a full length album at that point.
Right. I know that because music is pretty much all digital now, people aren't going to record stores and buying one album. Releasing singles does also allow a band to kind of stay more relevant with each new release. But I personally, I love full length albums. Maybe it's because I'm that nostalgic 90s kid. I don't know. But I love it. I enjoy how even if you love like an album, you can have like an EP and it's like more bite-sized. And then, it does take less time to produce and come out with singles and EPs than full lengths. But I always feel like when a band comes out with a full length, it's just this nice little treat.
Definitely is.
Do you remember the first album that you bought with your own money?
Not with my own money, to be honest. I will say that I remember getting a lot of albums and everything, but my parents actually were really supportive with everything for me for what I was into for music and my creativity as a musician. So they definitely bought a lot of music for me when I was younger.
Travis?
I would have to say that it was probably crossbreed, synthetic division.
I thought we were going to hear something from a pop star. Oh my God. You guys have been fantastic. I am looking forward to all the things that are going to be coming out from Protokoll 19. This has just been stellar having you guys on. So we've had Travis and Jayson from Protokoll 19 here on the Crypnotic YouTube channel for Midweek Music Maelstrom. And we really hope you guys tune in for more. I'm going to be linking all their social media and where you can find their pages in the description. So please click on those links and check them out. Please follow the Crypnotic page because we've got plenty more for you. And this is where you're going to find what's happening, especially in the Tampa area. So we're going to sign off.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.